She's so good. Okay. Stride is going to be including a note into the 22-23 handbook for out of division students that they must show for SOL testing. And that's twofold. Number one, it's a wellness check for those kids, and we want to lay eyes on them, right? And number two, after COVID, a large percentage of parents opted to use their right to refusal. And so we're trying to decrease the number of families that did that, to be honest. So that will be a note in their handbook for this coming school year, which I think is a positive thing. Not saying they have to pass, it just says they have to show and take the test. I mentioned contracts. I alluded to Edgenuity's getting to me tomorrow, then we'll review it and send it out to divisions. But Stride, there is no contract necessary. It automatically renews except for those new divisions. And those new divisions have all submitted their contract, and Virtual Virginia does not require one. Edgenuity's also offering a, go ahead, Dr. Grinstead, was that you?
Yeah, make sure I said that. You're saying that the students in the Regional 7 Virtual Academy do not have to pass the SOLs? Is that what you said?
No, what I said is that the out of district students who are with Stride as out of district, they are just listed that they have to show up. They can't, if they invoke their right to refusal, it has to be for a truly extenuating circumstance.
Thank you. Sorry, I misunderstood there.
No, that's fine. And actually, to that point, the eligibility criteria does not necessarily indicate that they have to, but each division has the option to invoke that. So if they want to say that those students have to pass, each division has that authority to do so. That one would be kind of hard because if you have, taking it is important, but to mandate passing is a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, definitely an option on the table, but that's the harder one to do. Sometimes there are situations with testing that arise that are difficult to manage. Edgenuity is offering next year a synchronous option. It will come at an additional cost to divisions, and I've shared that with superintendents. And I mentioned this as well, but everybody was going with Stride except for 2 divisions. And we also have everybody who was with Edgenuity last year has renewed their contract again this year, and we've added 1. So Tazewell will also be signing a contract with Edgenuity as well. Other than that, everything else remained the same. Let's see. I've been doing, working with individual divisions on 22-23 registrations, recouping students, staff trainings, that sort of thing on a per division basis, and really just attacking that as we go. I feel like this question is going to come up, so I'm just going to go ahead and attack it, I guess, is I have no idea what enrollment will look like next year. I have an estimate, right? And I think it will be a little over half potentially than what we saw last year, but I really don't know. So we ended 21-22 with roughly 1,200 in-district students enrolled. I think that will be closer to 500 or 600 next year. Still quite a few students, but that's just my general guess. I will tell you that as of June 1, there were 297 that had re-registered through the Stride app. So that means those parents had indicated. So that's only one provider. And that's kind of what I'm basing my thoughts on. And I think we'll be at roughly 2,800 out of district students if my numbers are right there. And that's not much different from what we had this year. I think that number will stay relatively close to the same. Some considerations for discussion, and we maybe talk about this at a different time. Last time we sent a survey to members, board members, whenever a quorum was not present, and that actually worked pretty well for us. So I would like to put that on the table as an option moving forward. If we ever don't have a quorum, that a survey can be sent. And so that can be a topic for conversation. And additionally, one other topic just for everybody's knowledge is that I've heard that a Pearson Academy is coming to the state of Virginia, and they are not currently offering protections for Region 7 students upon ask to do so. So just something to keep in mind. So Pearson Academy would be a virtual academy as well. They would serve Virginia students. but they will not offer protection for Region 7 students, just as a side note.
I think Suzanne's working on that too, Caitlin. I think she's working also with the DOE on that too.
Okay.
What do you mean, Caitlin, protection? Can you define that for me? I don't understand.
If a student if a student's a Region 7 student, the way that we're set up right now is that we negotiated for each of our providers not to accept them if they were a Region 7 student, unless they went through us. We asked that of Pearson. Pearson said no, they will take them even if they're Galax City. And that there's nothing we can do about it currently.
So we're competing now. Okay.
Yes. That being said, I was approached by a division just yesterday about wanting to join the Region 7 Academy, who's not in Region 7, which I also found kind of interesting. So several things going, but technically yes. And the only thing about Pearson is that they have some money behind them, and so when they start advertising, they'll advertise hard. But that being said, I've not seen anything on paper yet saying that they're trying. I've not seen anything come out yet for them. So, and Dr. Grinstead, I'll take any questions, but that is all for the director's report at this time.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? Okay, if not, then our fiscal agent report. Mr. Brown.
Sorry, you think after 2.5 years I'd figure out how to unmute myself. Like Caitlin kind of summed it all up. We did get it. We got our check-in on, let's see, what's today, Thursday. We got check-in on Monday for the $35,000, which helps us get through the remainder of this fiscal year. And then Tammy would know better if she started to get checks in from the $5,000, but right now we're in good shape. You all seen the finances, we sent them to you. So mostly it is Caitlin's, again, her salary, and then some of her expenses for travel and phone and those things. But I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have regarding that.
I can speak to that a little bit, Mr. Graham. I think 4 divisions have not paid their $5,000. Everybody else has paid. And then the only additional fees that we do pay out would be to the lawyer for contract review and things like that.
We haven't had a lot of discussion with Rodney lately too, so we don't have a big expenditure on that side either right now. Any questions?
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question, Caitlin. Have you received Wise County's? Because I didn't get that invoice. Have you received ours?
I will look and I'll let you know tomorrow because I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know there's 4.
All right, let me know. Perfect.
Will do.
Thank you.
Okay. Keith, do we have a quorum present? Yeah, Alex. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Dr. Green said we do have a quorum.
Okay. Good. Do we want to consider, it's not on here, but I know we've done it for Linwood Open's Governor's School, is since we have a quorum present, that if we have a problem of getting a quorum, that we can take action with the majority of people present.
I think we would need to add that as an agenda item in the future, but if there is a precedent for that, we can certainly research it and add it to the next meeting agenda.
Okay. We could do that. It may help us out. Okay. Approval of minutes from January 13th, 2022 and March 17th, 2022. Has everybody read them?
I'll make a motion. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you was ready for the.
Yes, I am, Irene.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve both sets of minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? And the aye has it. Ratify approval of each Pardee School Division for the 5,000.
And so I'll speak to this a little bit. This was those items that were sent out on a survey. And so all of these passed with abstained from voting just because they were new and weren't around to know kind of what we were talking about. It was a new board member, so they abstained from voting. And all of these other ones passed by every member except for the Imagine Learning, formerly Edgenuity price increase, and that had one no vote. But other than that, they were passed.
Okay. Radford City Schools fiscal agent for Regional 7 Virtual Academy approved a 5.5% pay increase for all employees.
So that would be a 5.5% increase for Caitlin too, but you all probably need to approve that.
Okay.
Because she's a employee of Radford City.
Just to reiterate, they've all three of those items have already been approved. I think we just have to formally ratify those.
Okay.
Right. That's including her 5.5%, correct? Okay,
Yes,
do I
sir.
hear a motion? Any questions? If not, do I hear a motion to ratify them?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the next one, MOP partner, Image Learning is former Ingenuity. And again, we covered that one, $150 per student beginning. The dollar amount will go to R7 VA to assist in the fiscal year 22-23. Do you hear a motion to ratify that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, motion's carried. Okay, approval of Stride Ride employee agreement and payment.
That one, Mr. Graham, is outside of the 35,000. That's the stipend for those folks who are helping with.
Yeah, any of the Stride is really, they have a lot of teachers. They have a hard time getting their endorsements and license and things of that nature. So as a fiscal agent, we also took on that too. And Stride was kind enough to give our human resources department, which is what's our human resources department, and a little bit of technology too, because it does require technology. So 5 of our employees are getting a $2,000 stipend from Stride. Doesn't cost R7 VA anything.
So
So you need a motion to approve that?
I think so, just to make it official.
okay, did I hear a motion?
So move, we approve the $2,000 stipend.
And I hear
I
a
just
second.
made it.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion's passed. Discussion.
Can I
items.
clarify one thing on that, Dr. Grinstead? I don't, none of that's coming to me. That's all of our employees too, but none to me.
Okay. Okay, discussion items. Do we have any items for discussion?
Not at this time. I don't
Oh,
think
I
so.
will tell you the Stride leadership has changed with the passing of one of their employees. He was a wonderful employee. His name was John Beasley. They've asked the superintendent of schools to move up and kind of take a larger leadership role. So they've hired a new superintendent of schools, and they'll probably have to, if it's who I think it'll be, we'll probably have to hire a new high school principal too. So just want to let y'all know that.
That's correct. They announced that. They told me that yesterday.
Oh, they did?
Dr. Kenny Moles will be taking Suzanne Sloan's place, and then they'll need a high school principal.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. I mean, Caitlin.
Okay. Any other items for discussion? Okay. Next is future business items. Set our date for our next board meeting. that be September?
That would be September, Dr. Grinstead. And I think, do we do it the second or the third Thursday?
I think it's the third Thursday.
I think so too. That would put it at September the 15th.
Okay, I hear a motion. So set September 15th is our next board meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
I make a motion, we set September.
Do I have a second?
I'll second if he made the motion.
Yeah, he made the motion. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Keith, is this where we need maybe add, looking at next time, if we have a majority, if we don't have a forum to be able to act with the majority present? Or how
Yes,
do we
sir. I
do-
think Caitlin can work with the governor's school, with Dr. Robinson to see what language they use there. And if it applies for us, we'll certainly have it before the board next time.
Okay, that may help us out some. Because everybody's been so busy. Is there any other business to come before the board? Okay, hope everybody has all you gentlemen, a happy Father's Day. And appreciate. Thanks everybody for attending our meeting, and I hear a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.